Are we just missing Mr. Russi? Can you hear me? Oh, there's wait, I can't hear Mr. Russi.
I'm not missing. I'm here.
Okay, just checking. Thought you might be catching some sun out in front of City Hall there. That was a joke, all right. And Jessica Combs is.
Ms. Combs will be,
okay.
She will be the city's next witness.
I see. Okay, thank you. And Chief Nicholson will be returning, not returning. What is her status, please?
I believe that she will not be returning at this point in time.
All right. Okay, then we're going to continue without her. Okay, Madam Secretary, are we ready to go?
We are ready to go.
All right. Then
Maureen?
if Miss Stoughton, if you'd call your next witness, please. And I'll ask her, please, to be ready to raise her right hand and be sworn.
Before we do that, Maureen, can you just tell me how much time I have left? I can't.
5 minutes. It's 5 minutes and 29 seconds.
Great, thank you.
I guess the court reporter's on mute.
Oh, Madam Court Reporter, are you on mute?
I don't believe so. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I'm not on mute. I just can't tell if the witness is there or not, so.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Will you raise your right hand, please? Do you state that the testimony you are about to give in the matter now pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, yes.
And would you kindly please state and spell your name for the record?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Combs, Jessica-Combes.
Thank you very much. All right, Ms. Stoughton, please.
Jessica, who is your current employer?
I work for the Department of Human Resources with the City and County of San Francisco.
And what is your current job title?
I am the Citywide Reasonable Accommodation Coordinator.
Okay, can you give us a quick overview of what your job duties are?
Yep. My job duty is to ensure that individuals that are qualified have reasonable opportunities for reasonable accommodations, reassignments, and I also provide technical support and guidance for people with disabilities, our applicants with disabilities, to department HR analysts.
Did the San Francisco Fire Department refer Firefighter Daggett to you at some point for a citywide job search?
Yes, they did.
Okay. And can you turn to, I believe you have it in front of us, it's City Exhibit 3. It's 0057 through 59.
Yep.
Okay. Do you recognize this document?
I do recognize it.
Okay, and what is it?
This is email communication between me and Thomas, and then a letter referring the individual back to the department.
Okay, and why did you refer Firefighter Daggett back to the department?
I invited the firefighter, Mr. Thomas Daggett, to participate in the citywide job search, which is a 60-day job search for vacant positions, and we do this for qualified individuals as an opportunity for reassignment as a reasonable accommodation. And my communication here states that Firefighter Daggett did decline the citywide job search offer. This is a voluntary process, so I referred him back to the department.
And did Firefighter Daggett get referred to you in the first place because the department determined it could not accommodate him with another position?
Correct.
And does this appear to be a true and correct copy of your correspondence with Mr. Daggett?
Yes.
No more questions for this witness.
Thank you very much. I should note for the record that Captain Rollins did not rejoin us after the 5-minute break. So he is not participating at this time, just for the record. All right, any questions for you, firefighter? Can't hear you, sir.
Sorry, I'm sorry, ma'am. Ms. Combs, thank you for your time.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I now see that Captain Rollins, at least his rectangle is present with his name, but I don't see his face. So I there now I see him in his automobile. Okay, Captain Rollins, are you with us, sir?
Yes, I am.
All right, very good. Thank you. All right, I amend my previous statement. So please, I assume, firefighter Daggett, you're going to be conducting the questioning of this witness?
I would like to, yes, ma'am.
Okay, of course. You're right.
Okay, thank you. And again, thank you, Ms. Combs, for your time. Regarding the exhibit that was just referenced with our email traffic, and understanding that the prosecution or whatever, or the fire department's position is that I refused the city search. Just for context and knowing that words mean things, do you mind please reading the email sent from me to you on October 13th at 11:57 a.m.?
Sure, you said Miss Combs? Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you all still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Ms. Combs, thank you for reaching out to me during this most disturbing experience. I appreciate your willingness to assist me during the time of need. My religious exemption declaration was denied, and as you know, and due to the fact that I'm pursuing appropriate measures to challenge said decision, I will not be able to accept your offer until my grievance is fully processed. Nonetheless, I am appreciative of your willingness to assist. Very respectfully, Thomas Daggett.
Thank you. And just for the record, we do have sunshine requests and a grievance in, if I'm using the correct verbiage, that is actually requesting more information on why our religious exemptions were denied. And one last question: if my religious exemption wasn't denied, would I be put in contact with you, Ms. Combs?
I job search individuals with qualifying medical conditions or sincerely held religious beliefs that the department is unable to accommodate.
Okay. Do you, in your opinion, my response to your offer to assist, does that sound like a full refusal of your assistance, or more a delay until I get my grievance processed?
You declined the citywide job search invitation by the deadline date in my email.
Okay. I will not be able to accept your offer until my grievance is fully processed. Okay, thank you. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, is there any redirect?
There is not.
All right, if we can just stop the clock for 1 minute. I have a question of this witness, and also for firefighter Daggett. Sir, am I correct that you live in Idaho?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, Ms. Combs, would there be, having done these accommodation searches for people, would there be a position that you can think of that would allow him to work full-time for the city if he lives in another state?
I was not aware at the time of the referral that this individual was living out of state.
All right, now that you are aware, is it possible to accommodate somebody, or have you, let me ask you that, have you accommodated someone that lives in another state?
Individuals living outside of California are not eligible for the citywide job search process.
All right, thank you. Okay, no further questions. Does anybody have a follow-up question to mine?
Ma'am, if I may, just a clarification on that. Does that mean that if an individual is working in the city of San Francisco but they reside out of state, can you just clarify that they would not be eligible for the city search? Is that correct, Ms. Combs?
Individuals living outside of California are not eligible for the citywide job search.
Thank you.
All right. Does that conclude Ms. Combs' testimony?
It does from the city.
All right. And any further questions for Ms. Combs?
Over to Captain Rollins, sir, if you have anything regarding the grievance. I don't think you would, but if you have anything, I'd like you to have your time.
Just to be clear, as a part of the city's process, Firefighter Daggett did file a grievance regarding the denial of his exemption, and we are awaiting response from that grievance from DHR.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, Captain Rollins. All right. I think we're ready. Any further witnesses from the department?
No further witnesses.
All right. And may Ms. Combs be dismissed?
Yes, thank you.
Dismissed herself. Okay. Here we go. All right. So no further witnesses about your exhibits, Ms. Doughton?
Yeah, the city requested they all be moved into evidence.
Okay, and they all will be. Don't hear any objection, and would be surprised if there was one. So they are admitted into evidence. Shall we turn over now to Firefighter Daggett and sir, your opportunity to present witnesses on your behalf.
I'm going to decline to present witnesses. Thank you.
All right. Okay. And Miss Captain Rollins, do you have anything to offer on that topic?
No, I don't.
All right. Thank you, sir. So that concludes the evidentiary portion of this hearing, and we will move on to closing argument. All right, and I'm sorry, Commissioner Covington, I missed your pen. I apologize.
Oh, that's quite all right. I thought you were going to ask if the commissioners had any questions.
I'm sorry, and I thought I opened it up, but if I didn't do a good enough job, thank you for reminding me.
I'll
And
defer
do
to
you?
I do have, but I'll defer to my fellow commissioners so that they can go first if they would like.
Do any, Commissioner Morgan or Commissioner Cleveland, do you have any questions? Commissioner Cleveland.
Well, looking over this health order, it does mention on page 13, or I guess it's 0019, under section 4, that there's the ability, I guess, to implement the order via a weekly testing. And I'm wondering why our department isn't allowing that to be utilized as well for those individuals who don't wish to be vaccinated.
So that sounds like a question for the chief.
Right. That would be.
I mean, we've addressed it in her direct exam about why we couldn't accommodate based on the factors that fall under that in subsection A through D that list the vulnerable populations that live and work in high-risk settings. But we can call her back and restate that testimony if that would be helpful.
But if individuals are being tested weekly and they are negative, are they a threat then to vulnerable populations?
Well,
And I-
Ms. Stoughton, I don't think can answer that question.
And I would say
Right,
that
Ms.
that
Stoughton?
question is answered in the health order itself, in this provision, where it talks about that these are minimum safety requirements. And it's not just testing that was requirement, it's always being masked 24 hours a day when you're in the workplace.
And they are masked when they're working. When they go out on a call, I'm sure all of the firefighters and paramedics are fully masked.
And again, we can have the chief restate her testimony about being masked when they eat and when they sleep.
They're not responding to a call when they're eating or sleeping.
But the health order is all times you are working.
Just interesting. And the letter, August the 10th, that was put out by the chief, the order to the department. Item 3, exemptions, was part of that order. However, since no exemptions are being granted, what was the purpose of adding that as a section to the order? And it doesn't seem to make any sense. If you are not allowing any accommodations, why would you even put that in there? Those are all my observations and questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And may I just ask for
Yes.
Thank you. I was just asking for clarification on number 0019. Ms. Stoughton said that it said 24 hours of mask coverings. Does it say that?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
it's at all times employed.
At all time. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Commissioner Covington.
I will wait to see if my fellow commissioner who hasn't spoken has questions. I think he does.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Morgan. You're being deferred to, sir. Do you have a question?
Yes, President. I was just trying to get some clarification. Well, a little bit.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I'm
Can you
having
hear
a
me?
hard time hearing you too. I'm sorry.
Really? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'll speak a little louder then. Yes. With Firefighter Daggett was saying that I guess he was referencing that he wasn't offered a vaccine that wasn't certified, or spoke about the Pfizer vaccine, that there's 2 different kinds, but it says down here that basically they're interchangeable. And I know the EUA authorized an emergency vaccine that they quoted earlier, Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, and then they, I guess they mentioned the other one. But later down here it says that they're interchangeable, and I think it was already he was already in violation at the point of this anyway. So I don't know how that would have anything to do with anything. That's just something I noticed. Do you have a reply to that, Firefighter Daggett?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Words mean things. They say that it's interchangeable, and if it was interchangeable and effective, and there was no if there was no fear that FDA, or I'm sorry, that Pfizer would have to come to call in the arena of adverse reactions, why wouldn't they make both of them fully approved and keep one of them emergency use? And I guess what I'm trying to say is they approved one for full use, which was called Carminati, which, to my knowledge, you can't find in the United States. The other one is available, but it's under emergency use. And my I don't mean to speculate, but I'm wondering if under emergency use, if the FDA or Pfizer would not be held liable if there are any adverse reactions. And therefore, with the knowledge of how many adverse reactions there are, that could be a reason why they didn't just authorize both for full use. And so I'm capable of making my own medical decisions. It's my body. And, you know, so far, we're not seeing any evidence that any of these vaccines that are being administered, we're not seeing any evidence that it stops the spread of COVID-19 or prevents contraction or spread. And so that's my stance on it. You know, it's interesting that if it's interchangeable, they would only approve one for full use that isn't available, and the other one is still under emergency use. But again, that's speculation. I'm not a doctor.
Yes, yeah, and you know, none of us are. You know, I'm not a chemist or a doctor. You know, it goes on to say a licensed vaccine has the same formulation as the EUA authorized vaccine, and the products can be used interchangeably to provide the vaccination series without presenting any safety or effectiveness concerns. The product are legally distinct with certain
I'm having a hard time hearing you again. Products are.
that do not impact safety. It says that does not impact safety or the effectiveness. It's pretty much the same thing, is what my point is. And he was already in violation. You were saying, well, the chief couldn't offer me the one that was effective, but they're saying they're the same thing. That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
hear me now?
And it makes one wonder why, if two things are exactly alike, one of which is approved and the other one is under emergency use, it begs the question as to why. And so to me, I hear what you're reading to me, and I've seen that. It does make me it makes me wonder. So I choose to, you know, if there's something that is being administered that is offering adverse reactions on a level of which we've never seen with the vaccine before, and I can't get anything that's actually approved. I wonder if you have to sign a waiver when you're getting the vaccine, because I haven't gotten one yet. I wonder if you have to sign any form of a waiver waiving any liability for adverse reactions. But
I don't think that's a question this commission can answer, or is it what is within its purview?
okay, thank you, ma'am. The last thing
Thank you.
I would say is one is authorized and one
I'm
is not.
sorry. Go ahead, sir.
I was just going to say the last thing I was going to say in regards to the FDA letter is one of these substances is authorized for emergency use only, and the other one is authorized for full use. And the only one that's available to us is the emergency use authorization only. And I'll end with that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
And,
All right. Yes, Commissioner Morgan.
And are you sure about that, Firefighter Daggett? Where did you get that information from?
I'm actually not certain.
Okay.
I
just want to clarify that.
Yeah.
And
I would challenge anybody to find the Comirnaty vaccine. To my knowledge, because I'm not seeking it, I've just been aware that folks who have been trying to seek it are unable to find it.
okay. You know, I just want to say, you know, it is a health order. You know, the health. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist, anything of that nature. So, I respected that the health officers, authority and opinion and recommendations, and this whole commission, I'm sure, did too. I mean, the mayor got vaccinated, on down the line, and so did I would imagine the chief and everyone else. And I respect your service to this country, and I really do. But I was going to go on with some other stuff, but I know that you're used to taking orders from your superior officers, and I know you took an oath as a a soldier to obey your superior officers to some degree. Am I correct?
I swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and I am charged, or I have been charged with following lawful orders.
Yeah, so this health order is a lawful order, Firefighter Daggett. Unless you think the health officer is better suited to be some tourist guide at Disneyland, I think it's a mandated order, by someone in office. I just want to, I'm just trying to.
Okay. Well,
I'm just trying to clarify this situation.
I'm gonna let you just respond to that, but I don't want to get into a debate about this.
Yes, ma'am.
The documents are what the documents are. The orders are what the orders are. And what has been made clear throughout is we don't, as the Fire Commission, have the right to challenge the health officer's orders. I mean, that's just a reality. So
yeah, that was my point, President. And I think I'm done after that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna turn to, yes, Commissioner Covington.
Yes, my other commissioners have spoken, so I'll ask my questions now.
Please, go ahead.
Okay. All right, thank you. I really appreciate your sending us, all of the information about your background and how hard you've worked, and being such an asset and serving our country and our city. I just wanted to ask you, during your 20 years, is it? 20 years in the service?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, during your 20 years in the service and being deployed in places around the world, were you ever required to take medication or shots because of, cholera or any other disease that the local population may have had? And if so, did you take those precautions?
Yes, I did. I was reluctant to in a few areas, but I was inoculated with many different vaccines. I'm not anti-vaccine or anti-medication, but the medications that were administered to me were all FDA approved, and they were time tested and proven to be highly effective with minimum adverse reactions. And also, when I first enlisted in the military, and I don't really enjoy talking about my military service. I brought it up today, because I think there's a lot of people within the command staff who see me as like I said, belligerent or a problem. So that's why I brought that up, just so that the commission would understand that, listen, this isn't me being stubborn. This is me making a logical choice for my health considerations.
Yes, I read the document that you made available to us that you read at the beginning of the hearing.
Yes,
so that's very clear to me.
Okay.
Were you in any regions where there was an Ebola outbreak?
I never experienced an Ebola outbreak. No.
Okay. Typhus? Malaria? Any of that?
Yes. Malaria.
Okay. And did you take quinine or any other things to help with?
Sometimes
you're gonna get something, but hopefully it won't be as bad as if you didn't take the medication.
Well, the medication that I took, like I said, was FDA approved, not under emergency use authorization, and did not have a very high instance of adverse effects. So, and at the time, you know, as you go through life, you mature and you grow a little bit. I had pretty large concerns about my physical well-being with regards to things that were not viruses or bacteria, and so generally, you took what was given to you, and I'm not going to discuss too much more about how certain individuals would not take what they were supposed to be taking. But anyways, to answer your question, yes, I did take medication, and yes, it was FDA approved, and yes, it was proven to work without adverse effects. And so I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you. Thank you for your response on that.
Yes, ma'am.
In the fire department, who is your commanding officer?
I'd say ultimately senior member in the department would be the chief of department, who's overseen by the commissioners, if that's the question.
Yes, yes, we do oversee the chief of the department and recommend, any chief to the mayor of the city. So if she is your commanding officer and the people who she reports to, the mayor, and even all the way up to the governor, all of these people are bright, as you are bright, are smart and committed to their communities. The chief of the department and the commission, that should be a question. Are you aware that the chief of the department, the commissioners, excuse me, the mayor of the city have no way to amend or ignore this health order? That does not fall within our purview.
Ma'am?
Yes, sir?
I do hear what you're saying, and I've heard jurisdiction and purview for quite some time now with regards to this terrible situation that we're in. And I would tell you in response to that question that I think as leaders, it no longer becomes your purview, but it becomes your responsibility to listen to those under your charge. If they bring up a valid argument, you have to support those under your charge. And I'm not saying that you should welcome insubordination or anything like that, but we're not talking about small potatoes here. We're talking about a quote unquote vaccine that has injured a lot of people. We are talking about human rights and medical rights and freedom of individuals. We are talking about something that statistically, based on data, and I have provided it, California is close to 80% vaccinated. And I believe San Francisco is even higher. And there are still COVID-19 outbreaks and cases coming out here. So I know what you're asking in your question, but I'm here to tell you that sometimes when you're in a position of power or status or title or billet, I would argue that you have the obligation to assert to higher levels. And sometimes it's at risk to your pay or your pension or your status. It may not look good, but in order to be the best servant leader, I believe when there's something that is this big, it becomes your responsibility to voice those opinions and assert yourself in protection of those that serve under your charge.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your response to that.
Yes,
Yes. The people who serve on this commission, I can assure you, do it because we want to be of service and because we love our city. We love our fellow citizens, and we definitely love the fire department and its members. Can you describe for me how you would be able to wear, not you personally, just anyone, be able to wear and ensure that you wear during your 24-hour shift a face mask?
Well, I mean, physically, you wear the mask over your face, but I can tell you that this talk about wearing face masks when you're sleeping or showering is not a thing. Maybe with some people who choose to be extra cautious based on whatever fears they have. I have never seen anybody sleep with a mask on. I've never seen anybody shower with a mask on. That's the honest truth. But I have not been at work and without a paycheck since October, so things might have changed. But during my entire time during this COVID pandemic, I can't tell you, if I'm being honest, if I have ever seen a firefighter sleeping with a mask on. But, you know, people wear masks when they're mowing about the firehouse, and it's just not going to happen for 24 hours. I guarantee you that.
And that is our concern.
Okay.
That is exactly our concern, that it's impossible with people tossing and turning in their sleep. Thank you for your responses. And I would like to ask the city attorney a question. Madam City Attorney, may I? If not, it's just one question.
Okay, please proceed.
Thank you. Have the vaccines that we're talking about, have any of them been FDA approved and certified?
Yes, pursuant as set forth in the health order, the Pfizer vaccine has been fully approved.
So, and it has been approved for how long? It's about 6 months or so?
I believe so, though I confess to not knowing the date offhand.
Oh, no, that's all right. I know it's been some time. And the emergency approval was quickly made permanent. And I think that that's an important matter. Do you have any response to the permanence? Because these are FDA approved. and all of your information says that you're being forced to take something that's just on an emergency use basis. And that'll be my last question for you.
I assume that's not directed to me anymore?
No. Thank you. Not to you. That's directed to Firefighter Brennan.
Thank you, Ms. Covington, or ma'am. I just want to hear again for the record, anybody that's representing the city of San Francisco stating that a fully FDA approved vaccine that is no longer on emergency use authorization is actually available to any of the members of this fire department currently.
The Pfizer vaccine has been approved and is available. Okay, thank you. Those are my questions.
And I mean, I'm going to comment on the last question by Firefighter Daggett. I know you're not in San Francisco, but you can now go into any pharmacy here, and sometimes they make you make an appointment, but you can receive the fully approved Pfizer vaccine. And I can assure you, because it is required for service, that every member of this commission has received the vaccines. And so it's just that the notion of it being an emergency use approval has gone. It's passed. It's fully approved, and it's easily available in San Francisco now. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, so the Comirnaty or Comirnaty, the one that actually is FDA approved and not under emergency use authorization, is available for use, correct?
That is my understanding, yes. And Ms. Stoughton, you can correct me if you believe I'm incorrect.
You are correct.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Is there any, I mean, there's been a lot of discussion rather than sort of closing argument. Does the department wish to make a closing argument at this time?
It does. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Madam President, can I ask him one last question?
You may, Commissioner Covington.
Are you willing to take the vaccine that is FDA approved?
With the amount of adverse reactions and with my immune system being intact, I would probably feel better about looking into a vaccine that is fully approved, and I would have to make that decision if it ever became approved. What I have discussed.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. All right, Ms. Stoughton, please.
Okay, 1 second. Sorry, I just have to make sure I have my timer that I can see. Okay, thank you. So as we've discussed at length here today, the only issue before the Fire Commission is whether Firefighter Daggett complied with the city's health order and the related departmental general order. His disagreement with the public health officer's determinations and the science behind them is irrelevant. His own opinions about the efficacy and safety of vaccines and what public health needs do and do not dictate do not override a lawful order from the health officer. The evidence established that the health officer recognized that there were certain high-risk settings where public health needs required that all persons entering be fully vaccinated, subject to limited requirements. The health order therefore imposed a vaccination requirement for employees who, quote, are not permanently stationed or regularly assigned to a high-risk setting, but who, in the course of their duties, may enter or work in a high-risk setting, even on an intermittent or occasional basis, or for a short period of time. The health order did permit exemptions based on a sincerely held belief or disability that specify that even employees who were determined to have a sincerely held belief or disability may not be accommodated if they work in high-risk settings due to the inherent risks in working with those populations. And the health order also was specific to state that nothing in the health order limits the ability of the government entity under applicable law to determine whether they are unable to offer a reasonable accommodation to unvaccinated personnel with an approved exemption. The chief testified that firefighter Daggett could enter a high-risk setting any time in the normal course of his work. It is impossible then for firefighter Daggett to perform the essential function of his position if he's not available to enter a high-risk setting. The chief also testified that relying on the factors specifically laid out in the health order about the risks in working in a high-risk setting and what factors employers should consider when giving unvaccinated employees accommodations, that the department could not accommodate even those individuals who had a sincerely held religious belief, because of the risks an unvaccinated employee would pose to the vulnerable populations who exist in those high-risk settings. It's undisputed that firefighter Daggett had notice of his obligation to comply with the vaccination requirement. It's also undisputed that he knew he would be subject to a non-disciplinary separation if he failed to comply with the health order's vaccination requirement. And as established by firefighter Daggett's own words, his objection to the vaccine mandate were related to his disagreement with the science behind the health order's mandates. And again, his disagreement with the science behind it is irrelevant to this proceeding. His opinions cannot override a lawful order from the health officer. At the end of the day, firefighter Daggett made the decision not to get vaccinated. Therefore, he can no longer perform the essential functions of his position and must be separated. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stoughton. All right, firefighter Daggett, please.
Yes, and thank you again, everybody, for your time. We hear time and time again Ms. Stoughton's argument that my opinions, my disagreements, all this type of stuff. What I'm talking about is I've come today presenting facts. She needs to provide a preponderance of evidence, factual evidence, that I am indeed an endangerment to the people that I serve. Okay? There has been nothing that demonstrates that I am actually an endangerment to the people that I serve. Okay? This is not opinions. This is not a disagreement. I have been charged with being an endangerment to the people I serve. I requested discovery with any findings that would demonstrate. Show me a graph. Show me data. Show me a data set. Show me anything that shows that I, as an unvaccinated, no comorbidities, and I have an intact immune system. You are charged with demonstrating and providing a preponderance of evidence that I am, in fact, a threat. I will tell you that you're talking about following rules, all this type of stuff, okay? And I understand you're trying to paint me in a certain way, but the onus is on the department in order to provide evidence, facts, data that demonstrate that I am an endangerment to the people that I serve. I believe, this discussion that I had with Commissioner Covington, I think that was a great conversation, and I'm being very serious when I say that people that are in position of power, people that are in positions of leadership, when you say that it's out of my hands or out of my jurisdiction, and we're talking about people's lives and health here and their medical freedom, we're taking steps backwards. We need to take a listen and take a look. It's really easy to say, oh, this person's a kook or this person's crazy, which I'm not accusing anybody of accusing me of that. But it's very easy to turn a blind eye to data. Time after time, I've provided data to this fire department, and it's as if you're looking through a sheet of paper and not even acknowledging anything. I would actually ask, and I don't require an answer because I may or may not know the answer to this, but who here really thinks I'm an endangerment to the people I serve? It's a good question. And guess what's going to happen? I'm imagining there's probably already a letter of termination with my name drafted on it. And today, I showed up here expecting evidence proving that I'm endangerment. I'm an endangerment to the people that I serve. I brought facts that back up my claims that you can get injured from taking this vaccine. I brought proof that the vaccines don't even work as advertised. And nobody else brought anything demonstrating that I'm an endangerment to the people that I serve. And frankly, I'm going past being offended. It's almost like I want, and you know what? I hope and I pray that people start to open their minds and actually take a look at data. Today, I read Ephesians 6. I showed up with the belt of truth, expecting an exchange from a department with lawyers and paralegals with an accusation that I'm an endangerment, and they did not demonstrate that. So, back over to you, Ms. Stoughton, if you got rebuttal of that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Firefighter Daggett. And because the department bears the burden of proof, they have the opportunity to give final closing.
Again, the issue before this commission is merely whether Firefighter Daggett complied with the health order and the general order. Moreover, while we respect Firefighter Daggett's opinions in this case, presenting opinions is not the same as presenting evidence. And in this case, the health order has set certain requirements. Those requirements are pursuant to legal authority under the law for the health order to do, and Firefighter Daggett has not complied with those requirements. The chief of the department testified by all of the safety reasons they could not accommodate Firefighter Daggett. Firefighter Daggett was given the option to participate in the 60-day job search, and he did not. At this time, the city submits that Firefighter Daggett, the fire commission should uphold the non-disciplinary separation.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Stoughton. At this time, the commission will begin its deliberations. Is there a motion regarding deliberations in closed or open session?
This is Commissioner Morgan. I'd like to make a motion to have the deliberations in closed session.
All right. Is there a second? I will second the motion. All right.
A roll call.
Please.
Commissioner Covington, how do you vote?
Closed session.
And Commissioner Cleveland, how do you vote?
Can't hear you.
Abstain.
Commissioner, you are not allowed to abstain on a motion or item that comes before the commission. You have to vote yes or no.
No.
Okay. All right.
The motion passes 3-1.
Thank you. All right. We will at this time go into closed session, and I'll allow the commission secretary to arrange things as they need to be arranged, which I understand will take a moment or two.
And we need Chief Nicholson, Mr. Rollins, and I believe Ms. Stout.
Rollins, Captain Rollins.
Yes, they need to exit.
So, Maria, me as well, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we need the chief to exit.
And the member.
Exiting, like, I'm sorry, I might be confused.
You have to close out. You have to.
I'm dropping off the call.
Correct.
Yeah,
And I can notify you when we go back into open session. I can email you, or if you want to email me your telephone number, I can call you when we come out of closed session.
How do other people who are watching publicly get to see the end of this?
We're going into closed session with myself, the deputy city attorney, and the 4 commissioners.
And so,
Maureen, I believe that if the people who are on the attendee list stay connected to the meeting, they'll when you go on a practice session again, they'll be able to see the open session.
So
I think that's
do you want me to move the member to as an attendee?
That might be one way to solve the problem, yeah.
Okay.
I think we can go off the record now.
Okay, and let me find Mr. Daggett. Attendee. Corrected.
Madam President, this is Firefighter Daggett. Can you hear me by any chance?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
For some reason, my app at this point won't allow me to turn my video back on. It says, disregard. All right. I'm back. Thank you.
You're back? Good.
The court reporter, we need, she's back in, but I don't know if she has her camera on yet.
There's our court reporter. Hello, Madam Court Reporter.
Hello.
Okay, item D.
Oh, did we need Miss Stoughton or no?
I think she might have. I can email her. One moment. I've emailed her. And I don't have her cell number.
Well, I'm going to make my
Mr.
executive decision that we proceed without her.
Oh, Mr. Russi, do you have her cell number?
He's kind of got a fence here.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Okay. We need to get it for future reference, though.
All right, I think we have everybody we're going to have. Does anybody disagree here? No, I think we have everybody. Wait. Okay.
Okay. Item D1, report on any action taken in closed session as specified in California Government Code Section 54957.1A 5 and San Francisco Administrative Code Section 67.12B4.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Deputy City Attorney Brad Russi. But on behalf of the Commission, pursuant to the code sections that the Commission Secretary read and the Commission's procedural rules, I will report that by a unanimous vote of the Commissioners present, the Commission voted to find that the Department proved by a preponderance of the evidence that the member failed to comply with the health order, the health officer's order concerning vaccinations and the chief of department's order concerning vaccinations, and to uphold the chief of department's recommendation of a non-disciplinary separation in this matter.
Item D2, vote to elect whether to disclose any or all discussions held in closed session as specified in San Francisco Administrative Code Section 67.12A.
Is there a motion?
May I motion to hear that?
Actually, you can't. I'm sorry, sir. I need a motion from the commissioner to have the closed session remain closed or open. Anybody wish to make a motion?
I just was told I'd like to.
Okay, I need to, believe I need to finish this first, and then we'll move on. I will move that the closed session remain closed. Is there a second? Okay, there is no second, so the motion fails, and
Just so the Commission understands that if this is a legal requirement that the Commission make a decision whether to keep the discussions in closed session closed or open them. So I think you need to make a motion one way or the other. There is a recording of the closed session, so that would make that recording no longer protected by the closed session provisions of the Brown Act.
Oh, if we take it to open?
We're talking about the closed session that just occurred.
Right.
The question before the Commission is whether the discussions that occurred in that closed session and the recording, whether they should remain confidential closed or whether they become public. And Commissioner Feinstein's motion is to keep that discussion confidential closed.
Yes, I second that motion.
all right, we have a first and a second.
I'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Covington, how do you vote?
I vote to keep the session closed.
And Commissioner Cleveland, how do you vote? You're muted.
Can't hear
You're
you.
muted.
I vote no. I do believe we should keep this discussion public This is a matter that goes far beyond the four of us here and needs to be discussed in open session. Thank you.
Okay, the motion passes 3-1.
All right.
Item 3, adjournment.
And Commissioner, can I just make one comment about the next steps
Of course,
so that
Mr.
everyone's
Rusty.
on the same page here?
Yes.
Okay, so so the member and the department know the commission will issue a letter tomorrow, probably memorial and stating what occurred today, its decision. And the letter will provide that the separation is effective tomorrow at 5. The member has an opportunity to file an administrative appeal of this decision with an administrative law judge with the state's Office of Administrative Hearings. And the letter will provide some proposed rules that would govern that appeal. And additionally, after the court reporter prepares the transcript, findings of fact to support this decision will be prepared and approved by the commission at a later date. And you'll get a copy of those.
Okay, I understand. Finding of fact, correct?
That's right.
I have a question. I thought that the firefighter had asked to say a few words and that Madam President said wait until we have the vote. Am I correct or incorrect on that? Okay.
To which,
I'm sorry, if you're asking me that question,
Did you request to speak?
I did not, but
I think he
No.
did.
Yeah,
Speak.
you okay.
okay. Well, I will take the opportunity if afforded. That'd be very nice.
All right, go ahead then.
Okay. Well, I thank everybody for their time. I'd like to take the time to thank my wife and all of my family, and moving forward, I know that I'll make it work, and to all those who I served with, it was an honor, and to all of you in the fire department who are feeling pressure to do something to your body that you don't agree with, and you feel like you don't have a choice in the matter, I will tell you that you do have freedom and you do have liberty. And I would say, wake up. Look at data and look at facts. The truth is not far away. I've tried to present it, as many people have, and eventually what is fringe will be mainstream. Read Ephesians 6. Do what you got to do for liberty. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Is there a motion? Would be a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you,
Second.
Commissioner Cleveland. Thank you. Thank you. Seconded by Commissioner Covington
President Feinstein, how do you vote?
to adjourn.
And Commissioner Morgan?
Let's hang around for a couple of more hours. Yeah, I vote to adjourn.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned at 2:43.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.